Mm.
All right, y'all. Welcome back to Super
I
Mario
guess I would like
35.
put like stuff like the Joker in that. Like you can tell that's one of those movies that like knows that
Hold
it's.
on, fucking put my
Mm.
headphones up. Dang it. Let's go. I hate it. All right, Joker does what now?
The Joker's one of those movies that like once you know like how artsy of a movie it is.
Mm. I after I first saw the Joker, which I plan to watch it. I've seen it at this point 3 times. Let's talk about movies. You want to talk about movies? I don't
I
give a
thought
shit.
we were already doing that.
Good point. Let's continue talking about movies. Yeah, I did. I jumped backwards over the Goomba and shot him in the back of the head. It was great. You saw me do it. Tell your mom. She'll be proud of me.
And then cry because you can't. And that's
No,
okay.
no, don't cry because you can't. Just accept that you can't. And that's all you really got to do. Just accept it. But don't cry. Wow, I am. Oh, so it's not always the same thing. Okay.
Again, it just depends on what everyone picked.
But I've seen the Joker 3 times at this point. I know that. Here's what I'm gonna do. I leveled up. Here's what I'm gonna do. Y'all can watch somebody else play while I talk. I've seen the Joker 3 times for the third fucking time. I've seen that movie 3 times for the fourth time. And the first time I watched it, I was like really the problem was when it comes to movies like that, and you're looking for what everybody else is coming in their britches for, you're never gonna find it. Ever. You're never gonna see what it is about a movie like that everybody else is like clamoring over. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that was kind of the issue. Is I was looking for the thing in the Joker.
Where's the kaboom? That was supposed to be in the Earth Shattering kaboom.
And it wasn't a bad movie. Like, I think the movie just would have been better if there wasn't. Like, I think it would have been better if Batman wasn't involved in it. If it wasn't a Batman movie. I don't mean like if Batman wasn't involved. I mean if there
As long
was
as it
no
was, if it
Batman
was,
element.
yeah, if there was no like, it's in the Batman universe. If this was just
Yeah.
a movie about a man with a mental illness.
Because I think like
Because at the end of the day, that's what it was.
Because that's what it should have been about. Because like it ended up not really being a movie about how we treat people with mental illnesses. It became a matter of like what you call that shit? It became a matter of like classism. Like that's what the movie was more about than anything else. It was classism. And it wasn't a bad movie. Like I swear up and down. Like I liked it. I don't love it, but I enjoy watching it when I watch it. Like I really do enjoy it. I think Joaquin Phoenix did a really good job. But at the end of the day, he's not fucking Joker. He's not Joker. That was not, that just wasn't him. Like, that's not, because the problem is like in this universe, they created Batman. You feel me? So why didn't you just create Joker? You feel me? Like, why didn't y'all just create Joker? Like have him fall into the thing and slowly go insane if that's what needs to be, if that's what needed to happen. But that's not what happened. So yeah, if you've seen Joker and you thought to yourself, this is a fucking masterpiece. Yeah, it does sort of insist upon itself in the sense that it overdoes the artsy fartsy bullshit. Like it genuinely does overdo the artsy fartsy bullshit. To the point it's like, alright man, like I get it and I don't care. I'm curious, like when this game is like no longer available, would you still be able to play it like practice mode? Without being able to play it online, would you still be able to play it, just not online?
Like, is it gonna just force your? Because I don't think they can force your system to delete it.
No, but it can like update to the point it just like when it tries to load, it'll just like give you a screen that says like thanks for playing or whatever, and nothing happens.
Yeah.
But back to movies. So yeah, Joker sort of insists upon itself in its artsy fartsy bullshit kind of way, and like that kind of annoyed me about it because like the one thing I don't like about people in general is when motherfuckers who, if you are good at something, if LeBron James was like, yeah, I'm like one of the greatest fucking basketball players of all time, I'd be like, all right, dude, go fuck yourself. Like it could be factual, like it could be, but I don't care because like the way you come off about it makes it seem like you shouldn't be allowed to play because your head is so far up your own ass, like you can't see the fucking, you can't see the ass for the shit. I should have said you can't see the shit for the turd, but either way, but it's basically that principle. And another movie that I really fucking enjoy, and I cannot get this across enough, I super enjoy Us by Jordan Peele. Is that how you say it? Peele? Yeah, okay.
Sure.
By Jordan Peele. And that movie is stupid.
You've said.
Also, like, but so far, like, the two movies he's made, Get Out and Us, both of them are dumb as fuck. Just off top. Both of them are really fucking stupid. Get Out is basically the Skeleton Key, but with a shittier plot. Like, if you've never seen the Skeleton Key, it's kind of like Get Out, but it makes more sense. And it just has a better plot. It just simply does. It has everything to do with, like, racial...
I mean, also, the twist isn't
as obvious.
I mean, well, for one thing, the twist isn't as silly. And I say that given the fact that it's about voodoo, but you're not literally putting a white man's brain in a black man's body.
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, like... Because first and foremost, like, the old white man inside the young dude's body who gets snatched at the beginning of the movie, let's be real, they would have had to make sure that he never went out in public because it was openly stated, like there was a news report of that man being missing. So they would have had to make sure they kept him away from anybody who would have been a law-abiding citizen. You know what I mean? But
I think the scene in that movie that annoyed me the most was the scene where the white chick is in her bed eating cereal
and then drinking the milk.
Yeah.
Like eating the cereal piece by piece.
Yeah, and it's symbolic. I understand that, but again, that's the whole artsy thing.
Symbolic in what way?
There's segregation. It's segregated. That was the point.
This is okay. So here's the deal. Y'all can stop that. Like okay. Here's the deal. So when me and you and your bro was talking about movies the other night, and I asked him like, are you talking about this from like I make movies and I understand the art behind them, or are you talking about it from a dumb moviegoer standpoint? He was like, when I watch movies, I watch them, as a movie, as like a person who wants to watch a movie. Okay, so you watch it as an idiot because that's who movies are made for. Stupid people. We are not looking for that kind of shit. You couldn't like if you played that scene a million times, I would have never sat there and be like, oh, because she's separate. No. If you wrote that into the script, kill yourself. Die now. Because you're a fucking moron. Like, first off, black people didn't get that. White people got it because they guilty. Black people didn't get that shit. I probably couldn't. I could ask 100 black folks who have all seen the movie Get Out and be like, when the girl was sitting there eating the cereal, what did you think about? Like, they ain't gonna be like, oh yeah, the separating the, that was powerful shit. No, nobody thought about that. That's not a thing. Like, that's just not a thing. But yeah, like, if you want to watch a good movie about body switching, and not Invasion of the Body Snatchers, it's not good. I've seen it. I've recorded it. Yeah, I have it. It ain't good.
The remake or the original?
The original.
Oh, okay.
Was the original in black and white?
Yeah.
Then the remake.
Okay.
The remake was.
I don't have an opinion. Like, I don't have a strong opinion.
All right. Well, it just is what it is.
I'll let you have that.
But the thing I wanted to talk about was Us. I've seen Us a total of maybe 3 or 4 times at this point. Like, and I like that movie. With that being said, it's a stupid fucking movie. It is scatterbrained as all fuck. and like the plot is broken. So I don't know about you, but one of my biggest pet peeves when it comes to like creating a universe is like the writer not sticking to their lore. You know what I mean? Like if you write a story about a girl who has like narcolepsy, you can't like have her, suddenly, wake up in the middle of somewhere and like, or she go to bed somewhere. You know what I'm saying? You gotta stick to the fact that she's narcoleptic. That's the plot, is that she's narcoleptic. So if you miss that, if you write that in there, fucking use it. Chekhov's gun. And there's a lot of problems with Get Out. If you've never seen Get Out, I'm sorry, if you've never seen Us, stop watching the video because I'm probably gonna talk about it in the episode. And I'm not gonna put a time code on it. It's just not gonna. And yes, I'm still watching somebody else play this game while I talk, because what's the fucking difference? Do you really care if it's me playing or not? Of course you don't. You've seen how good I can get. Like it ain't gonna get no better than that. But like the issue I have, like here's the twist of the movie. Here's the Shyamalan. So if you ain't seen the movie and you don't want to ruin it, you better click off now. The twist of the movie is that the girl Red, because they're like their counterparts, they're tethered all have names. They're tethered all have like their own individual names. But Abigail's counterpart Red, the one in the jumpsuit, she's the original Abigail. Like it turns out when the little girl saw herself in the fun house or whatever the fuck, the one from below attacked her, knocked her out, and then took her down there and traded places with her. That's what she did. So we find that out by the end of the movie that, oh my gosh, like, yo, blah, 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 blah. Like, yeah. And like, I guess you could say there's symbolism in this film. Like, well, see, there are people from down below, and yeah, I don't fucking care. Like, I don't give a shit. Like, I really don't care at all. But I just had a really hard time grasping the concept that this girl, Red, never spoke as if she was the original Abigail. She never spoke in that manner. Like, she never spoke as if, like, I remember what you did to me. No, she spoke as if she was always the girl down there. And I don't understand, like, she would have, like, if that was really you, if you, were in that situation, you would remember some motherfucker, like, basically kidnapping you and trapping you in this hellscape for the entirety of your young life. You would remember that. But she doesn't. And then, like, the entirety of the movie just kind of goes on throughout this plot of, like, when I say, like, the whole they're underground and, like, yeah, like, the movie starts with the whole Million Man March thing. Again, I don't know if I'm supposed to take some kind of racial undertones away from that, because the tethered supposedly just want to be acknowledged as people. Well, you know how you fuck that up? Start killing people, which is what they did. So it didn't make any sense. So let's say, like, okay, that's all they really wanted. But what ends up happening is, what ends up happening is they come out and they immediately start killing people. It's almost as if, like, Peele didn't really know how to make the movie work as, like, a normal film. So it had to, like, he didn't know how to introduce drama into the situation. So he had to turn it into a horror movie where people were being stalked and killed and blah, 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 blah. Because, like, after they kill, what I'm saying is, as the tethered lined up across the country to do hands across America, who the fuck were they doing it for if they were the only ones alive? If every tethered counterpart was dead, who was it for? Themselves? And there's also a scene when Red is talking about, like, preparing the coup or whatever you want to call it. They go out of their way to really, like, pretty up the down there area, not their vagina, but like the place they were living in. Like they went out of their way to like fold up blankets. Like they made it like a summer camp or prison, because like they folded up the blanket, put them at the foot of the bed, and put the shoes on top of the blanket. And so I always assumed that the purpose of that was so that they could they were going to like kidnap their above ground selves, because even Red said like it's our time, and she made it sound like you're going down there now, you'll live down there, blah 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 blah. But that's not what happened. Like they started killing motherfuckers, like immediately. Even though Red's family, like Red, Abraham, Pluto, and Umbra, they didn't. Yeah, I've seen this movie several times. They didn't kill everybody out the gate. No, but the problem was, they can I get this? Hold on. Yeah, I can. But the problem was everyone else did. So like when the white people family, when they started when their duplicates showed up, they got killed immediately. Fuck. Like there was no conversation, there was no, hey, look what's going on here. Okay, bring your daughter. None of that. It was just immediate death. So my question was, or is rather, what was the point? Like genuinely, what was the point of doing any of that if you would just kill them? And it's why when I bitch complain about that movie, I always talk about how like I don't like movies that don't stick to their lore. Like I do not like when movies don't stick to their lore. You create a plot point and then you don't use it. Why? Like, what is the point? What is the point of me, the moviegoer, taking in information that you don't intend for me to like taking in information that you don't intend for me to use? Like, we have this entire story about how when Red was a kid down there, like she had to eat raw rabbit, all of her toys were sharp and jagged, which doesn't make any sense because everything they had down there seemed to be like an almost one-to-one ratio, a one-to-one duplicate of the things that were above ground. Like they didn't actually have like what you call them, like an amusement park ride, but they seemed to have food. You okay, Mark?
What?
You alright?
No.
Did you leave?
No, my headphone got pulled in my ear. But if you want me to, from a artsy-fartsy standpoint, I can tell you, like, a lot of they want you to read into that.
They didn't, or they did?
They do. They want you to read into that. Like, they want you to draw the parallel of, yeah, everything is basically the same, but you want more because they have something you don't have. And the fact that the person switched places at a very early age and whatnot, like, shows you that it could happen to anyone, not just someone who was born in a situation like that. Like, the deepest of levels, that we are basically the same, and we're going to treat each other the same because we are all monsters, not because of how we're born, but because of how, like, we choose to be.
Okay, well, that's dumb. Because to say, like, well, everything is... No, everything wasn't the same. Like, they were literally designed, at least according to Red, they were designed to be copies of the human body. And like she said, like, it seemed like they knew how to make a copy of the body, but they didn't know how to make a copy of the soul.
But given that she was in possession of a soul.
No, she's the kid. That's the thing. She's not the she wasn't a copy. She was a duplicate. She wasn't a duplicate. She was the original girl.
That's what I'm
So
saying.
So it doesn't make any sense. Because another reason it doesn't make any sense. Another reason it doesn't make any sense is simply because the people down there had emotions.
That's what I mean. Like, it's something they are saying, and they're just choosing to believe it, even though it's not true. It's what they're choosing to believe to justify their actions because of what they want in life.
What do you mean?
Like, what I'm saying is, you're saying that she said these things, yes?
Yeah.
Well, given that she isn't one of them, and she's still acting like the way she is, that would disprove that little theory. Like, you're looking at it as a plot, like, being bad, but it's meaningful, I feel, is what I'm trying to say. Like, it's pointing out, like, that's not true at all, because you aren't one of these things that you're claiming has no soul, and you're really just being malicious and evil for your own gain, because, I mean, you have no excuse, is what I'm getting at.
But she had an excuse. She had a reason to do what she did. Like, in my opinion. Cause, like, let's say we're in a scenario where you get wrongfully accused for a crime and now you're in prison. Like, for you to want to then go after the guy who put you in jail makes sense. But, like, that was all it really was to it. Those people down there they had souls, but they didn't have souls. Like, theoretically speaking, they were able to emote. That's why I say, like, it seems like they did. Because they could, in theory, again, like, show feeling. Like, when the girl above gets the Michael Jackson shirt, the little girl down below gets a shirt as well. It's not a duplicate shirt, but she gets a shirt. And she just kind of snatches it from her dad. And his, like, response, God damn it. I'll take it. And his response to her doing that is, like, that of annoyance. Shit! Fuck! I came in fifth. I don't give a fuck.
I mean, mind you, I'm not trying to say this is how you should look at this movie, because I'm just saying, like,
what you're saying.
there are people that, like, are gonna look at this movie and say, like, there's so much deeper meaning in all these things.
No, there's not. It's just a bad movie. Okay, here's the deal. If you make a movie with this kind of a plot, and you can't make it make sense, then it really doesn't work. What I'm saying is, and what I'd like to elaborate on that, I didn't see it the way Mark's saying we were supposed to see it. I didn't see it that way. So you didn't do a good job. You had an idea, and the idea just didn't fit your overarching theme, so you crammed it in there anyway, hoping no one would notice that it has a big flaw in it. So yeah, like Red talks about, it would have only just made more sense if, like, they were, like, all put down there. Like, all of them were taken down there. And they were stuck in that, you know, in the under. Let's call it that. Call it the under. They were stuck in that weird under location. And then, like, all the normal people had to, like, find a way to get out. Like, an overthrow, I guess. And I honestly feel like that would have made an interesting movie. Like, it would have been like a heist movie. You can call it what you want to. Like, but I'm just saying, like, that didn't make any sense to show them, again, for them to decide, okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna fucking like get all our stuff ready, and we're gonna clean up the place downstairs, make it look nice and pretty, and then we're gonna fucking murder everybody and not come back down here. What was the point of that? Like, what was the fucking point? Like, there was no point. Like when you start doing stuff like that, that's why I say, like, that's why, for me, all of it breaks down, because it doesn't make any sense. Once I start questioning one thing, that part's not really relevant. It's not part of, like, the overall art, like, plot. Okay, well, why is it there then? Like, why did we see that scene? Because I was still like, I still felt like, damn, I suck. Oh, we're gonna spectate. Okay, so I went from 21 to 22. All right, cool. So let's say this. At the end of the movie, after Red is killed by Abigail, what ends up happening is, like, she goes and she finds her son, and they all, like, escape. I don't know why or whatever the fuck, but they then escape, right? When they're in the ambulance, I think it is, or either the ambulance or some vehicle that they're all riding in to, like, go away, where I don't know. Because apparently across the entirety of the United States, there were these weird underground facilities where, like, these people were staying. Like, a copy of every person that existed. A duplicate of every fucker that existed. A duplicate of every person that exists. And it's not like, well, no. Like, when you died, yeah, they died. But what ended up happening was, and, like, it's so many fucking broken concepts in this movie. When Abigail had her kids, Red had to have Umbra and Pluto, and the reason she had those children was because she met Abraham. What the fuck is her name? Red had to meet Abraham because Abigail met Gabe. And they're talking about, like, when, you know, the girl had, like, help delivering the fucking baby. Like, she's talking about how, like, Abigail basically had help in the hospital delivering the baby. But she was like, but the other girl had to do it all on her own. To which I was like, fucking why? Why did she have to do it by herself? If there's a duplicate of Gabe down there to help you fucking make this baby, why isn't there a duplicate of the doctor that helped her deliver the baby? You're not following your own fucking program here. You see what I'm saying? Like, that shit doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, you're breaking your own rules, and I don't like this shit. Like, I don't like it because you're asking me to spend time watching your movie, thinking about your movie, maybe even discussing your film, but you didn't put any time into actually, like, solidifying the plot whatsoever. And it just kind of drives me crazy that, you know, that's what's happening. Have you seen Us?
No.
Okay. I like it. I can't stress enough. I really like the movie. Like, it's me, like, I like it because, like, my dumb, what Nakey Jakey calls it, my goopy gamer brain really enjoys the movie for what it is. I like the visuals. I like the sound quality. I like the sound effects. I like the movie. I like my dumb man brain likes the movie. But my intellectual side that tries to read into the plot and get something out of it, like, meat.
See, that's the thing that I think the issue is. Like, I think if it were trying to be a stupid movie that's just a horror movie, you would, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but, like, you would enjoy it more, is what I mean. Like,
yes,
but
no, exactly. Because it's not trying to make me think about stuff. And the fact that I started thinking about shit, the problem was, like, when I started to think about stuff, I started noticing things that didn't make sense.
Because the
when
only thing I
that
can think of is
happens,
like they're trying to like make a statement on classism again, because that's the only thing I can see them trying to reach to do there. Is like,
being Jordan Peele like wrote and produced it, I feel like it's probably about race because he
yeah,
loves that shit.
it's like you had all these things, you're so privileged, but we had nothing.
Which doesn't fucking make sense because you didn't start off down there. You fucking dumbass. Like, at that point, it would have been way crazier. Okay, you remember the episode of Family Guy where, like, there's a robot, an evil robot Peter, and Lois has to pick which one to shoot?
Mm-hmm.
I think the movie would have
He's
been
like nothing.
Yeah, I think the movie would have been way crazier if had, instead of her leading this coup or whatever, like she had to prove, like she had to make Gabe realize that I'm the real her. Like everything you love about her is in me. She's not real, or like something. But like it doesn't make any sense for her to just like attack Abigail and just be under like this entire. This person is looping the same stage over and over. I think they figured something out. They're winning. Are they?
Like, cause there were ways to go about this that would have made like his message thing make sense. Because at the end of the day, that's what he wanted. He wanted to push his message. There's so many things trying to pull me. Oh my god.
Oh, so back to the end. Back to the end of the movie. At the end of the movie, after she gets her son, like the normal person, like all the duplicates don't all die, by the way. Like some of them are literally just doing the Hands Across America thing. Like the first person to die in the film, to like his other, is a homeless dude with the Isaiah like 111, I think it is, or 1111, post like a cardboard. And like from the moment like his character is debuted on screen, he's in the same position the entire fucking film. He doesn't move. And there's a lot of problems overall with like the entire concept of these are actual really like these are really real people. They're all biological, they're all human beings. All of them. Regular human beings. But all they eat is raw rabbit. That's all they ever eat is raw rabbit. So like that doesn't make any sense to me. Like all they ever eat is raw rabbit. They don't get any sunlight. Like so how does it work? Like how does yes, well you fucked up. You know, stuff like that. Like I start questioning it. But at the end of the movie, like when they're driving away, she's driving, mind you. She looks over at her son in the passenger seat, and he's just like kind of staring at his mom. And he has his, like the entire movie, he's had this like this plastic wolf mask, like this plastic wolf man mask, and he's like wearing the mask, and she looks at him, and he looks at her. And she like smiles and like just like looks back at the road, and he pulls his mask down and he like the movie ends like that's it like, and I'm pretty sure that the way that that scene, I think after my third or fourth time watching it, I thought to myself, I think that was supposed to tell us that he knew that his mom was one of them. But the problem with that is...
So Jordan Peele, this is what he says about the ending of this movie. This movie is about maybe the monster is you. It's about us kind of looking at ourselves as individuals and as groups. The protagonist in the movie is a surrogate for the audience, so it felt like, at the end of the day, I wasn't doing my core theme any justice if I wasn't revealing that we have been the bad guy all along. That we've been following the villain.
But the problem is, she's not necessarily the villain. Okay, so fuck with me here for a second. That little girl was unlike the rest of them. Like, meaning that everybody else who was down there were like content with just following. What are you doing, man? Like, they were super content with just following the rules. Like, they would just do whatever their counterpart did. But Abigail's duplicate or other, tethered, was able to see beyond it, and she was able to break free. Or I guess if you wanted to argue, like, she lured the real Abigail down there by like taking over control of her and making her like come down there so she could swap places. So let's ask ourselves this: is the little girl who is down in this rabbit shit infested? Because rabbits stink. I don't know how many people know that, but like rabbits smell like they stink. It's not like they always stink or all of them stink, but rabbits as a whole, like some animals, just like they give off an odor that's not necessarily pleasant, and rabbits are one of those animals that just kind of stink. So the fact that they just had this large fucking thing of animals like rabbits down there, I couldn't help but think to myself, God, it fucking smells bad down there. And they didn't have trash or anything like that. So when they ate the fucking like when they ate the rabbits, what did you do with the carcasses? Like, who was breeding the rabbit? Because there had to be somebody down there who's either somebody down there whose overworld counterpart was a rabbit breeder, or they had somebody down there who just tended the rabbits. So, and this is kind of the issue. When the movie starts making me think about shit like that, and it doesn't give me an answer, or it doesn't even like give me any kind of explanation as to why this might or might not make sense, this is why it gets annoying. Because I'm just like, this doesn't make any sense. None of this makes any sense at all. None of it makes any sense. So it's not really fair to consider Red to be the bad guy, or it's not fair to make like the other Abigail the bad guy, because she was genuinely just a child who wanted to be free. That was it. And it wouldn't be fair to say all the other people were bad guys either, because they just wanted to be free. Clearly they had souls. Clearly they had brains that worked on their like in their heads, and they just wanted to be free. That was it. But the question is, like, why take it out on the people that you were a duplicate of? Because they didn't do this to you. They didn't even know you existed. Like, the people who put this program together abandoned it because they were like, yeah, it's not working the way we wanted to. So why not, like, just be free? Why not just leave? Because clearly y'all were able to break the cycle the entire time. You just never did. You feel what I'm saying? Because like all it took was a Red to go down there, be like, okay, we have to, like, apparently they saw her doing her ballet thing, and like that was the thing that like unlocked their brains, and they were like, she's unique, she's the one, she's Neo. We have to follow her out. Like she's gonna be our Moses. And I just didn't get it. It didn't make any fucking sense. Because you always had the ability to leave. You just chose not to. And that's on you. You shouldn't necessarily take that out on the people above you. It was a choice you made. Mark, you need a break? You sound like you got shit going on in the background.
I mean, I'm just sitting here at this point.
All right, y'all. That's gonna be it. I'm glad I got a chance to talk about that. In the next episode, we'll talk about having an existential crisis. And I'm gonna kiss you in the ear right now. Mwah. There. Hope you didn't enjoy that. I hope it made you feel awkward. You can send your sues. What do you call this shit when you sue somebody? Sues. Lawsuits. Send your lawsuits to P.O. Box 95, Glendale, California. Something. Mark, look up the Game Grumps P.O. Box.
No.
All right, y'all. We out of here. Peace.